So in this video, I'm going to show you how to apply the domain rules when there are fractions as well as fractions and roots involved. In this first example, we have a fraction. So does the function have a fraction? Yes, it does. Does the function have an even root? There are no roots involved in this, so we go to no. And so we will take this denominator and we're going to say it does not equal 0. Because it doesn't matter if it's negative, it does not matter if it's positive, but it does not equal 0. And the reason why it can't equal 0 is because we can never divide by 0. If you divide by 0, you will get an error message if you try it, and you cannot take something and split it into no groups. You can solve this by doing the quadratic formula, you can factor, you can use the rational roots theorem, that is entirely up to you. However, I did make this easy to factor. So it's going to be x minus 5 and x plus 3. With those, we once again say those cannot equal 0. So we'd set each individual 1. So x minus 5 cannot equal 0. And I'm just going to put equal 0. And then x plus 3 does not equal 0. And then once again from there you can get, okay, x cannot be 5. So x cannot equal 5. As well as x cannot be negative 3. That means it can be anything else. And since it can be anything else, it helps us if we draw this out. So if we draw a number line here, we can put our numbers on this. I once again like to put the 0 just as a place, and then 5 and negative 3. This is not an exact graph. Now x cannot equal, which means both of these are open circles. Now while x cannot equal these, x can be anything else. That means x can be in between these, x can be bigger, and x can be smaller. With that, this graph has 3 parts to it. That means our domain will have 3 parts. So we'll have x is an element of, and then we'll start down here. Remember, this is negative infinity. This is positive infinity. So we just start, as you read a book, you go from left to right. So we start at negative infinity, comma, negative 3. And all of these are parentheses because we have nothing it can equal. And because there are 3 parts, we separate it with this U-looking thing. And what that means is or. So x can be from negative infinity to negative 3, or, and because I'm out of space, I'm going to come down here. Normally you would do this all in one line. Or you could be negative 3 to 5, or you can be 5 to infinity. So if you have a quadratic or even a cubic or anything higher than a linear down here, you will have to factor it and solve it. Linears make this much easier because there would only be one solution here.